Good morning, friends. This is Kalaivani meeting you with the next application of Gauss law coaxial cable. So, you're very familiar with coaxial cable and Gauss law. So, before going about the coaxial cable, we'll have a small recap about our Gauss law. We have seen lots of time what is Gauss law. So, I think you can say it. What is Gauss law? The net electric flux passing through any closed surface is equal to the charge enclosed by that surface. Okay. So the equation will be the total electric flux is equal to closed integral of ds dot ds is equal to charge enclosed equal to q. Simply used to write as q is equal to surface integral of ds dot ds. So now we'll say about the coaxial cable. So coaxial cable is a well known cable for you. Where you have used this coaxial cable in practically, we have in our lab the coaxial cable, that is our probe. Most of you have seen the probe. We have seen the probe cutted and have seen the internal structures of the probe and everything. So if you see the probe, we can see very well. We will have an inner conductor which is very solid at the middle. Surrounding it, we will have a negative conductor, that is the next outer conductor, which is like a fiber. I think you'll remember it. So center is the positive and surrounding it is the negative. Both will be in the shape of a cylinder. So to imagine the coaxial cable, we will imagine coaxial cable is a consists of two coaxial cylindrical conductor forming a coaxial cable. Okay, one is the inner conductor, other is the outer conductor. So you can see the inner conductor here. This is our inner conductor and this is our outer conductor. So normally one is plus and other is minus. So we are taking the radius of the inner conductor as small a and the radius of the outer conductor as b. The length of the coaxial cable is taken as L. Okay. If you see in the exam, we used to draw this coaxial cable diagram. So easy to draw. One cylinder, inside cylinder will be indicated by the dotted lines and we can indicate the radius A and B. So radius, this is A and this is B. It is not showing similar to B but is B and the length is equal to L. Okay. So it is the considerations what you have taken. Next is the main thing is about rho s. So rho s is the surface charge density. So surface charge density of the outer surface of the inner conductor. So this is our inner conductor. We are taking here the outer surface of our inner conductor. We are taking the charge density as rho s. So the yellow color shaded position we are taking, it is rho s. Okay. Again, the total outer surface area of the inner cylinder will be 2 pi AL. How? Circumference formula is 2 pi RL. So length is L and the radius is A. So outer surface area of the inner conductor will be 2 pi AL. We want in terms of line charge density, then how to convert a surface charge into line charge density? Rho L, the line charge density will be equal to surface charge density into surface area divided by total length. So here surface area is 2 pi AL, length is L. So cancel, you will get rho L is equal to rho L and L will get cancelled. So you will get rho S into 2 pi A into rho S coulombs per meter. So rho L is equal to relation between surface charge density and line charge density will be equal to rho L is equal to 2 pi A rho S coulombs per meter. Now if we see, we are going for the Gaussian cylinder. Okay, consider a right circular cylinder of length L as a Gaussian cylinder. So other than our two cylinders of our coaxial cable, one cylinder is of radius A, other cylinder is of radius B. We are assuming another one cylinder called as Gaussian cylinder whose radius is smaller. Okay, we are assuming a Gaussian cylinder whose radius is smaller. This is a third cylinder and this is a virtual cylinder. It's only an imaginary cylinder. Physically we don't have any Gaussian surface. So consider a right circular cylinder of length L as a Gaussian surface due to the symmetry. So radius of Gaussian surfaces are, in the Gaussian surface only we will measure the electric flux density and electric field intensity. Whatever we are going to measure, we will consider that is in the Gaussian surface. So whichever point you want to measure, at that point we will imagine there is a Gaussian surface. Okay. So we are going to measure the electric flux density at the point R, radius R. So we will assume there is a Gaussian surface at a radius R. So due to the symmetry, what is symmetry? If you divide into two half, what is there in the left side, same will be there in your right side. So similarly, due to the symmetry, D has a radial component only. So first half is equal to your second half, it has only your radial component. So we don't have, in cylindrical coordinate system, we have only R term, we don't have, what are the coordinates of cylinder? R, theta and Z. So we don't have any angle term here and we'll have only R and we don't have Z term also. So here we are taking only the area between A and B. So we have assumed that's a Gaussian surface in between. So there is between A and B we have a radius R. So we are taking only this region. So region I will indicate by the another color. We are taking this region. Okay, region in the red color, that is between A and B. So we are taking here as radius R. So between A and B we are going to measure the electric flux density. So we will take the region R is between A and B. So applying Gauss law, as usual we remember Gauss law. We have recalled Gauss law also. Q is equal to surface integral of D dot ds. Now when you apply the Gauss law here, our total surface area is 2 pi AL. So here in this formula, instead of D, we can replace this. D is replaced by only the radial component, that will be dr. Okay, so it has only the radial component, so this is replaced by dr. So surface integral, it is only 2 pi AL. Now we are taking a Gaussian cylinder of radius r. Its radius of our Gaussian cylinder. So what is will be 2 pi RL. That will be the full circumference or the outer surface area of our Gaussian cylinder. So Q is equal to dr into 2 pi RL. R, remember this R is the point from the center of the coaxial cable, from where you are going to measure the electric flux density or electric field intensity. So total charge on the inner conductor will be equal to, Q is equal to, now we have the term Q here, so we are finding Q. Q is equal to closed surface integral of rho s dot ds. This we have seen in the surface charge distribution. This is the total charge will be equal to surface integral of rho s dot ds. So rho s is surface charge density. Now in this equation, ds will be equal to r into d phi into dz. Why? We are taking along AR direction, that is radial direction. Okay, so we are taking around AR direction, so ds will be equal to r into d phi into dz. So we have taken dx is only in the radial, we have only radial component. So r d phi dz, but r is equal to a. So ds will be equal to a d phi dz. Q is equal to rho s ds. Q is equal to closed integral of rho s into ds. Now, why we are taking here A means, remember, in our diagram we have taken this yellow color shaded region. In there only we have the rho s. So only we are taking the radius as A. Okay, but R is equal to A. We are taking A d phi into dz. Now Q is equal to closed surface integral rho s into ds. So rho s into ds means we can substitute ds value. So ds is A into d phi into dz. So we are taking a full cylinder. For full cylinder, what is the limit for integration? Dz length will be from 0 to z. Since the length of the coaxial cable or length of the Gaussian cylinder both is equal to 0 to L. D phi. So full cylinder, so it will be 2 pi. So phi is equal to 0 to 2 pi. Length of the cylinder will be 0 to L. So in this integration, if you see, rho s is constant. The charge density is constant. A is constant. Since fixed radius, A is constant. So d phi dz is alone the variable. So you have to integrating d phi only. So if you integrate d phi alone, you will get phi. If you integrate dz alone, you will get z. So you will get rho s A constant outside. When you integrate dz, you will get z. So limit is from 0 to L. If you integrate d phi, you will get phi. Limit is from 0 to 2 pi. So you will get 2 pi A L rho s. So Q is equal to 2 pi A L rho s. Now you can substitute this Q. Value of Q you found in the here. So I will take this as equation 1. So substitute in the equation 1. Okay, so equating, so then this, I will take this as equation 2. We will equate equation 1 and 2. So what is the equation 1? Q is equal to dr 2 pi RL. Q is equal to dr 2 pi RL. Here we have the equation Q is equal to 2 pi A L rho s. So equate both, cancel the common terms. 2 pi will get cancelled. L will get cancelled. So what is the remaining term? dr is equal to A rho s divided by R. Here only R is there. Take that to the other side. You will get A rho s divided by R. Now D is equal to dr into AR vector. So D will be equal to dr into AR vector. So this will be equal to A rho s divided by R into AR vector. What is rho s now? We only found rho s, the relation between surface charge density and line density will be equal to, line charge density will be equal to, rho s is equal to rho L 2 pi A. Where we found? So here only we found this. This only we are taking here. So we can substitute the value of rho s in the above. So you will get D is equal to A rho L 2 pi A R into AR vector. This is what you derived from the Coulomb's law also. So this is with respect to D. Then what will be with the value of E? So what will be the value of E? Relation between D and E? D is equal to epsilon into E vector. So E will be equal to D divided by epsilon. Again, main thing to be remembered, this is for the region when the Gaussian surface is between the two conductors A and B. So this is for the region A and B. When R is between A and B, D value is rho L by 2 pi R AR into C by L. What is E? E will be equal to D by epsilon. So D by epsilon, D divided by epsilon naught, you will get rho L 2 pi epsilon naught R into AR vector. So this is for the region R is between A and B. And important things to be remembered is when R is between A and B, E value is rho L 2 pi R naught, 2 pi epsilon naught R into AR vector. In case we have taken the Gaussian surface outside the coaxial cable. So R is greater than B. So this condition is for outside coaxial cable. So if you take outside coaxial cable, the total charge enclosed will be 0 as equal and opposite charges on the cylinder will cancel each other. How? Inner conductor plus outer conductor negative. We are taking outside the coaxial cable. So inner conductor plus and outer conductor negative will cancel each other. So you will get 0. The total charge will be equal to 0. So D is also equal to 0. In case you are taking the condition R is less than A. So you are taking the condition R is less than A is it is inside the inner conductor. So it is inside the inner conductor, remember skin depth. Normally we used to say the current or charges passes on the outer surface of the conductor, inner surface the charges will not pass. So when you take inside the cylinder, when R is less than A, the total charge enclosed will be 0. Okay, this you can remember due to skin effect at least. So remember, only for this condition we have the equation E is equal to rho L 2 pi epsilon naught R into AR vector. But for other two conditions, when R is greater than B and R is less than A, the total charge will be 0. For R is greater than B, due to the reason plus and minus will cancel each other. When R is less than A, due to the region of inside the conductor, the charges will not pass. Only the charges will try to pass in the outer surface of the conductor due to skin effect. Mostly R less than A, the charges will be 0. Okay, thank you. So remember this equation. This we will use in most of the problems. So E is equal to rho L 2 pi epsilon naught R into AR vector. Thank you. Meet you in the next video.